if there is anybody listening to this Patreon episode from the dad tier, I just want to say congratulations, you're a fucking granddad. Baby Sloss has arrived. I do not talk about the subject too much on this podcast because it's Daniel's business and it's his story to tell. So I kind of just brush over it, and he's going to get on soon once he's all settled in and shit. I'm dead excited for him. I'm dead proud of him. Yeah, so I'm gonna pop and see the band tonight. All his family's been visiting, and I've been just waiting in the wings for the call up. So I'm gonna pop round and see the band and probably report back on that. But I'll leave all the storytelling to Daniel. Don't expect anything like that from this episode. But what you can expect is a lot of laughs between me and Mark Nelson and our special guest Tom Horton, who joins the fold to talk about music festivals, school sports days, just a bunch of fucking, like, we're going off on some wild tangents. Some of them go nowhere, some of them get some big belly laughs and then peter out, and some of them are just solid bits. It's the podcast, you know what it is. Enjoy it.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
And here we are, shambolic as ever. We've got obviously with Mark, because Danny's just had a baby. That's not a secret anymore.
No.
I don't know if has he announced the baby's name yet. We should probably.
I don't think he has.
No.
Not official. Not to us, he has, but not on.
So he's had his baby. He's called Matty. He's called Elliot Steele Sloss. So Mark's here, and we've got Tom Horton on my left. If you're watching on the video, you can see him.
Hello.
And I feel like we've got a little clash of worlds here going on, haven't we?
Yeah.
I feel like
My dancing with wolves.
I feel like we would never have met Tom outside of comedy, would we? We'd run in different circles.
No, maybe if I'd found myself backstage at a festival sometime, but not really.
Oh, what is it? Well, I'm in the St. John's and you've OD'd on pills. So for anybody that doesn't know, we've mentioned you before, we've had you on the podcast before, we've got a few new followers. You live in the Tower of London.
I think the only time I'd have come across you is if you'd enacted that old law where British lords are allowed to come up and sleep with Scottish men's wives on the night of their wedding. You ever seen that in Braveheart?
Yeah.
This happens in Braveheart. That's what kicks off a shitload of stuff in Braveheart. A lord comes up and basically steals a guy's wife on his wedding night, takes her in a tent.
That was just a law that the British imposed on the Scottish.
Yeah, the English. It was like I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a divine right of a lord.
And could you only do it to a Scottish man's wife, or could you do it to could you
do-
go out to Wales and
I'm pretty sure the Welsh
have a pop with a Welshman's wife?
but there was no
Nobody really.
there was no incentive to do it.
That law was just a formality. Nobody enacted that law.
I'm now in my head just cycling through which one of your wives I wanted to. Which one will I go with?
Well, he's not Scottish. You wouldn't get away with it with him. He's English.
yeah.
Oh yeah, even though my wife's Scottish.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he's northern. Surely I can
Aye.
just
Yeah.
second base or something.
you're allowed to finger my wife in a court of law. Not in a court of law, but in a court of law.
That's around the back of the court of law. Bit in the court of law.
Aye. The court bins. You're allowed to finger my wife around the court bins.
Why is that? That's like a proper stand-up trope, isn't it?
Behind the bins.
Behind the bins. Why is it always behind the bins?
Fingering behind the bins.
Yeah. It's never like
see.
in the fire escape or like in the lift. It's always behind the bins.
Aye.
It's the most grotty.
I wonder if any like hack British comedians went over to America and done that and just left the audience going, what, the overhead cabins on a flight? Oh, the trash can. Oh, behind the trash cans. It doesn't quite have a ring to it, does it? I was fingering her behind the trash cans. Behind the garbage dumpster. It doesn't.
Nah.
It doesn't.
We always
it
had
doesn't-
behind the hockey pavilion.
That's what. That was your hack. Behind the hockey pavilion.
Why was so grotty about behind the hockey pavilion? Is it just behind any building?
Well, it's because it's like at the bottom of the playing fields, just away from the school. So it's like
right, I see.
Yeah, it's like down
Yeah.
from the main buildings. So it's like you go down there, and they'd have the high jump mats that you'd chill out on.
Aye.
You guys used to chill out on high jump mats?
I don't know we had.
I got
We had sand.
I
You
got
guys
thrown
used
in
to
the
jump?
sand pit when it was full of water once.
Yeah.
Water.
What?
Water. Yeah. Yeah, we did have like there was like a shed that was full of like, you know, hula hoops and bean bags and shit that you'd use in
Like
sport.
crisps.
And this was a fair school. And Scott Bennett,
It's called a shop.
Scott Bennett was always gigging in it. Fucking niche joke.
Yeah, how niche are this audience? Are they going to get that
It's a
joke?
favorite episode. They follow comedy. A lot of them are
Okay.
comedy fans and that. Yeah, so, some of them do. Some of them are a bit more casual.
Did you do? There was a certain point where sports day at school, you got to do athletics. I say athletics, like track and field.
But you
Yeah.
don't know, like your leg tied to one of your other mates is like.
Aye, previous to that was shit. aye.
three-legged race.
Oh, well, like welly wangling it, like chucking.
I mean, whatever that is in your school, Tom. Aye. You know, when the lights were off, did you do a bit of welly wangling?
Yeah, you get a biscuit out, you get in a circle.
Aye.
Do you know when I was because you had like you had the 3-legged race where you tie each other's legs together and then you'd have like egg and spoon.
Aye.
You run and you had a sack race where you're supposed to get a Hessian sack and you fucking launch them. When I was maybe about 8, I fucking ripped this race, right? Like won it easily at the school. And a dad
Got a hole in the bottom of the Hessian
a
sack.
dad.
You're like Fred Flintstone.
A dad accused me. A dad went up to the teachers and accused me of cheating.
Oh,
Like
steroids.
properly wanted like fucking VAR to get involved.
Report you to your USADA.
It was unbelievable.
Have a drugs
Like,
test.
I just was incredibly good at that.
You're just built her in it.
Yeah, I was
Fuck
good
you
at
up.
that discipline.
One of the dads was like, nah, not the Nelson boy.
Yeah, he couldn't believe I'd done it in 9.8.
You're the only white kid in the final. You're like, nah, not having it. He's up to something like, he's took the potatoes out. The rest of the kids have got the potatoes still in.
I held my school pole vault record for a year.
Wow.
Because, get this, it was the first year we ever did pole vault, so it was actually lower than the high jump record.
The pole vault,
pole
vault record was lower than the high jump record.
Yeah, I held it for a year.
So you beat the kid that was encumbered by the stick.
Yeah.
Like there was a kid in your class that could have went, right, I could beat that if I just drop this.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you did the pole vault, like genuinely in the Olympics, right? And halfway through running, you dropped the stick and still got out of the bar, would you still get the
I don't
points?
see why not.
I don't know. I'm not sure you would.
Is there like marks on how you do it? and
Yeah, I
style?
think so. That's like going if you just ran around the hurdles, isn't it? Like, I guess.
Is it though? Because the law for running around the hurdles would be in because they need it,
Yeah.
right? Whereas they never feel like they needed if you drop the pole and just fly over the bar. Frosby flop.
The Frosby flop was a hell of a thing. Do you remember first hearing about the Frosby flop?
I wonder if do you reckon he invented it, or do you reckon he was the one that stole the thunder of it? Do you reckon there was somebody like called like I don't know, Davis or something in his class that did it?
Yeah, and then he just-
nobody once called it the Davis flop.
The Davis dip.
Aye, but then Frosby come along, done it on the world stage.
Yeah.
No way was he just trying shit out at the Olympics.
It's good, like the good legacy getting something named after you, especially like the Cruyff turn.
The Nelson sack.
Yeah,
Nobody ever assumes. Nobody ever assumes it's about the potato bag race.
Yeah.
They think it's about
It's my boss.
It's definitely your ball bag. He's got the Nelson sack. The start like it just becomes a medical condition. Tennis player's elbow.
Oh, when it's turned brown and scratchy.
There's roots coming out of it. It's actually a potato. It's
Fraying at the
potato.
edges.
Tastes good in a stew. The Irish love it.
Imagine that. You know, you've got bay leaves to flavour stuff, right? But you need to take them out before you serve it.
You take a
There's
potato
my
leaf.
balls were like that.
You just get
Michelin star restaurants, I've just got to dip my balls in for 5 minutes, and then they remove them with a spatula and then serve it up.
you want it in Helsinki. We've got a delicate. So anyway, Nelson sacks when your bowels make good stock for a stew, and you want to run the world. But there's only one of you. There's only one of you. Everyone's keeping an eye on your Seamus. Is he gonna blossom like his dad? Is he gonna have such a resilience to boiling water like his dad? Trying him out in cold soups.
Gazpacho.
Gazpacho. Well, that took a turn, didn't it?
Wow.
That took a turn. Staying on sports as a loose theme. Me and Tom last night got drunk and watched the halftime show, which I've been looking forward to watching. I didn't want to do a disservice of watching it on my phone or just watching it in passing.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking massive Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like that fucking generation of rappers. I think me and you both.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like, you know, if you could pick your dream team of like who is going to be on a spectacle, whether it be like a award show or a halftime show or something like that, right? That would have been mine. Apart from, I would have probably Jay-Z was in the audience, wasn't he?
Jay-Z and Beyonce were in there.
What a fucking travesty that he was in the audience watching Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Like, how would he?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Kendrick Lamar, I just reckon is the generation below us.
I felt, for me, like, I'm sure, maybe showing my age, I felt like they got a YouTuber in and just went, oh, that'll be for the kids. Yeah. Even though it's not. Like, he probably appeals to 30-year-olds.
But I agree. I'd have taken Nelly. I'd have taken Exhibit. I'd have taken LL Cool J. All these guys.
Man. Fucking LL Cool J was on it. That would have been awesome.
Been amazing.
That was quite a good bit because I saw there was a video because I mean the halftime show is incredible. Like it's a huge. It's like $50 million or something to put it all together, and because the adverts as well, that's like the most expensive ad space.
Aye, because everybody's watching.
So it's normally just massive Hollywood films. It's normally just Marvel that can afford it, to be honest. Marvel and Disney. And
it's like it is probably not redeeming what you've paid for it. It's probably dick swinging. If you buy that advertising space, you're not going to get your money back in sales, I bet.
No, of course not. Aye.
But you've got the prestige.
Like, do you reckon if you did advertise your Fringe show on the Super Bowl, do you reckon you actually would get
I'd probably still be outside hustling on a Wednesday. I'd probably still be there hustling on a Wednesday. Like, my weekends would be full.
Yeah.
But also, it's so unnecessary. It is dick swing because it's so unnecessary because they're not going to gain any. Like, nobody's going to be sitting there watching the Super Bowl and suddenly go, Doctor Who? Doctor Strange? That looks interesting. Like, my this Lord of the Rings is something I've not come across before. You know, fucking, if you're going, that's not going to...
Thank God I watched the football.
Yeah. So weeks before, they released a trailer, and the trailer was just as hyped up as anything, and it was basically Dr. Dre putting that team together. So he was, because it was held in LA, and that was going to be like a celebration of Dr. Dre and celebration of Compton and all that stuff. So I think he specifically picked Kendrick Lamar.
Did he? And he too had with Eminem. When I saw him in Bella
Oh, did he? Aye.
When I went to the Glasgow one, he was opening from there.
Aye.
And he's featured on his album as well.
Aye.
So yeah, I mean, I think Kendrick Lamar's looked at as
fucking 50 Cent was a plump old unit, wasn't he?
Aye.
He was more $1, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Because I was talking to this to my wife actually about whether that was all muscle or whether it was in his
face. It was in his.
Man.
It was in his face. You could tell he was like.
It was in his breath.
He's been having a belt. Shorty. It's your birthday. There's cake on his chin.
Shorty and breathy.
Hey, Shorty, it's your birthday. Where's the buffet?
I genuinely thought it was Bizarre from D12 when I first saw it, and it came down.
But you know what? I was a bit chuffed for him when I saw him. It was like saying, "Enjoy your friends." You know, you just got a good lad, man. Fucking hell, you've been in your fucking premier life. You've been in front of the public eye. Lasses loved you.
Aye.
Right? Fucking go and enjoy your retirement.
Aye.
What about that?
Eminem took the knee.
Aye.
That was because there was rumors that there was going to be a Tupac hologram as well during California Love.
Aye, that would have been nice.
That's because he took the knee at the same time that Dr. Dre played "I Ain't Mad at You,"
Yes.
which was a Tupac song. So that was people are arguing whether or not he took it the knee for Tupac or for Colin Kaepernick, sort of.
It was an American football game where they all began, so it kind of like,
Either way, I thought it was quite symbolic that like the only white guy up there during the first time that rap has been represented at Super Bowl took the knee.
Apart from Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny, who absolutely fucking crowbarred himself onto the J-Lo lineup. Like how the fuck did he get that gig? Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican rapper, is like...
Yeah. Was that the silver bloke?
I guess so, because I was like... I cannot remember I went on Siri. And, I'm going to end up keep fucking setting it off now while we're recording. I was like, hey Siri. It's like, psst, Siri. And it's setting off everyone's at home when I do it now. I was just like, who the fuck's that bloke? That's crowbar himself onto the gym. I spoke like a proper Johnny. And Siri was like, oh, you mean Bad Bunny? It actually come up the answer.
It did.
But it was the first hip hop. It was the first hip hop.
First rap, like complete rap representation in Super Bowl. So it was a big moment. Yeah, it was cool.
Aye. And you now find, well, there's going to be like fucking boomer cunts just watching rap music, more like bloody crap music.
Yeah, I did. It's really going on social media and watching the different sites. Like TikTok were sort of, these guys are clearly legends, but they didn't get it because they're younger. Instagram going mental. And then Facebook were all like, what is this rubbish?
Yeah.
It's all, the social media now is so generational, depending on which one you go to.
They're running out of people. Like, this is a problem.
As far as legends, you mean?
Yeah, because that's a problem. Like, I remember reading an article about 5 years ago. And this was 5 years ago about music festivals in Britain genuinely running out of people to have as headliners, because the bands that are massive to young people now don't really get massive through albums. No. So they don't have that back catalogue to headline a show.
Well, they're only about to see a YouTuber headline Glastonbury.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, 'cause I remember that
KSI.
I remember the year Nicki Minaj did Tea in the Park, and people were going, "Who the fuck?" Because she'd literally had one song, and that's what it'll be. It'll be like, because there's. That's why when people moan about, oh, for fuck's sake, are they getting the Foo Fighters, they get the Coldplay again, they're getting Kings of Leon again, you go, but the only people that have 20 songs they can do.
Could you even, who's the most recent person of that caliber do you think you could name? Who's got that now back catalogue legendary status?
Probably Ed Sheeran, as much as it pains me to say.
Yeah.
But
where everybody knows their songs.
Like Adele, maybe?
Yeah.
She's
but I
good.
often wonder what it's like to, because at least Gaga, definitely. Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I'd say she's another level behind. Like, she's before Ed Sheeran.
I wonder how, like, because I've never seen Adele live. Ed Sheeran, I've watched Ed Sheeran live, and I can get how people could get, because he's got upbeat songs. He's got bits that you'd go, right, this is the bit where folk can go mental, because that's half the fun of a headline set. People go fucking mental.
Yeah.
But where is the Adele mental bit? Like, who's standing there going, I really hope she plays.
Sex
I
on
really hope
Fire.
she plays that one where she phones a cunt to moan. I really hope she plays that one. And who's going mental? Like, when are the fireworks coming during Adele? Do you know what I mean? Like,
with the exception of Rolling in the Deep is about as close as she gets. As she gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
We were, because we watched back over the years last night when we were having a drink, and we ended up, because we were like, oh, that's never going to be topped, and then you go back and you're like, fuck man, like, as a spectacle, J-Lo and Shakira topped it. It was almost like they fucking spent their budget getting a billionaire headphone mogul out of bed.
Because of Dre.
As a visual spectacle, it didn't have anything on that, and then fucking we saw the Coldplay one, and that as a visual spectacle was fucking phenomenal.
I'll tell you what was amazing as well, that Chris Martin was there, like the lead man. He was there with Bruno Mars and Beyonce, and he was the one who was like, the centre stage.
They had the magnetism towards him. Like it was like Beyonce had.
Coldplay.
You point out Beyonce had a hand on Chris Martin, and then he
was just
flung
doing
his
this,
hands
and
up.
Beyonce was like hanging off him.
And she
like
like
some
kept
drunk girl. Yeah.
As if she was like, I can't believe I'm fucking next to this guy.
Yeah.
Like I think I've took for granted how prestigious
Yeah.
that man is because he's the subject of a lot of ridicule. Like people find it cool to mock him or like fucking take the piss out of him. But if you've seen him live, or if you see the show that he puts on, or like that fucking the way he's just in his music and he's just there in his music.
Yeah.
He's fucking such a good performer.
And the three of them did their big hits. In the final one, he just sits down on piano and plays "Fix You."
Yeah.
And the entire crowd, everyone knows the words, and it's like it's a song I've never like decided to listen to. I've never chosen to listen to "Fix You," but I know every word.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far
Well-
as saying I think it puts you in Muggle corner if you hate Coldplay as a personality trait.
Yeah.
I
Hate Coldplay.
No, I don't hate Coldplay at all. I really quite like Coldplay, but my brother loves them. Like they're my brother's favourite band. So I keep up the pretense of and the attitude of hating everything they do, and and my brother is the easiest person to wind up possible.
Isn't he?
So anytime I put like Facebook comments about playlists, and he puts a Coldplay thing, I find like the most obscure meme of somebody falling asleep and just go, oh, fucking Coldplay. And he goes mental immediately. Like, he doesn't just go mental on Facebook, he goes mental at me in text as well. He's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, it's like...
he texted off the pitch.
Yeah,
He pulls you to one side.
Yeah.
That's when the text comes after, like, if you're in the WhatsApp group and then a text comes, you're like, it's like being pulled to one side, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Did you ever see them headline a festival?
Coldplay?
Aye.
Yeah, I've seen him headline a few festivals.
Because you were going to bring up the wristbands before.
Yeah, yeah.
I was telling Tom about that last night. So if anyone doesn't know, the fucking they put a wristband on you like throughout the day. You're just walking around the festival and they just pop your wristband on. Wear that during Coldplay's set.
Yeah.
And you got this fucking wristband on, and then it lights up during the set, and you're like, oh, cool, it's fucking lights up. But is it GPS depending on where you are in the field?
It makes makes a light show in the crowd.
So it depends on where you are, though.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm a colour over here, it could be a different part of the rainbow over there.
Yeah.
And that's fucking the fact they're putting all that in, they're not just turning up and fucking having a sing song. Like, they're going, right, we're going to get every fucking element of this.
No, I mean, I do. I quite appreciate a band that'll put on a show. Like, there's like, I mean, yeah, it depends. Certain bands can just go on and do it live, and just the attitude carries them through. But if you ever seen a Rammstein gig? Fuck me, like, you know Rammstein, but
heavy metal.
Sorry. It sounds like a download festivals type of gig.
the heavy metal, German industrialist heavy metal band. They're fucking massive, and they come on and they've got like fucking big massive devils spewing on people, and they've got like
That's cool.
light shows and flames. The guy used to be in
Giant squirt and vagina, that the
pyrotechnics. Yeah. So it's fucking insane, man.
One time about that lad's fringe show. Like, wheels out their big vagina.
Yeah.
I watched Bowling for Soup once, and they've got a thing where every gig they do, they inflate this massive big
Testicle
sheet.
and dip it in the soup.
They just teabag the entire audience with a massive.
I'm not actually allowed to mention that because that lawsuit's still going on for them using my likeness.
So they just bring out an inflatable sheep like they're on a stag do.
Yeah. It's like this, and then that's the whole thing, and then they pretend to fuck it a bit, and then they pass it around the audience.
They pretend to fuck it.
Yeah, they do.
Jesus Christ.
It's very much their
They
thing.
play mostly to 13-year-old girls and all that.
Just me in the middle.
Bowling for Soup, they were one of those fucking late post Blink 182 bands.
Was
Yeah.
Girl the Bad Guys Want.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you not like that?
I don't mind that song. I hate. Do you know what? They weren't that bad. It was the ones that were kind of ska, kind
A
of.
Real Big Fish.
Oh fucking cunts with pork pie hearts on and like and Hawaiian shirts.
This is going to sound like a lie because he's not on the podcast to defend himself, but Daniel Sloss went to see Nickelback with his ma.
yeah, he did, yeah.
It sounds like Islam. It sounds like, oh, he's not here, I'll just make something up with him. But I'm going to look down at the camera and tell you the God's honest truth. Daniel Sloss went to watch Nickelback with his ma.
It's not even the worst of our.
And when they went, look at this photograph, he put his glasses on. And he's craning his neck.
Pulled his shoulder out doing air guitar.
It's not by far the worst of our group of friends that I've ever gone to a gig. It was Gareth that went to see
Gareth.
Run the Jewels with our agent.
Was in the disabled section. With his agent,
Really?
she'd put her knee out jumping off a boat, right? And she was on crutches. And she asked Gareth, "Do you want tickets for Run the Jewels?" And he was like, "Fuck, I loves Run the Jewels. Fucking who doesn't? Class." And then she was like, "Oh, sweet. Do you mind picking us up?" Because
No.
and it was a ticket again with her. And he said
Do you
yes.
mind
but-
hiring a mobility vehicle so that you can pick us up?
I don't know how much spin I'm putting on this, but I think it's a bit legit, right?
No, it's legit.
Wow.
So he ended up. So funny. That's like Jack Carroll fucking gans to me once again. Speaking to disabled people. That wasn't what it was meant
What
to
a
be.
smooth segue that was.
No, it was he gans to me. He was like, "Do you want a spliff? This isn't fucking abattoir. Do you want a spliff?" I was like, "I'd love one." He's like, "You got any?" It's like, I mean, but didn't pitch it if it's like that.
Do you fancy a pint? Aye, me too.
There's the bar. Do you want a cuppa? I mean, I'll look through sugars, mate. Jesus. What was your first gig?
First ever gig?
Aye.
Tina Park, 1994.
Oh, nice. Fucking who headlined?
Cypress Hill and Rage Against the Machine. And who was on in the Crowded House on Saturday, bizarrely. I was 13.
Eclectic mix of tunes, isn't
I
it?
was 13. I wasn't allowed to stay. I wasn't allowed to camp because I was only 13. So my dad drove me and my pal up.
Chuck
Dropped
you
us
out
off.
the fence.
Aye, dropped us off and then picked us up at the end of the night.
Aye, nice.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I didn't get into festivals till late. You were at my first festival
Rockness.
performing.
Yeah. I was the first band you saw.
I was talking about when I met Natalie at that festival, Rockness. And was that the one where Example were on and they started chanting one more tune?
Possibly, aye.
He was like at the end of his set was like one more tune. Not everyone.
Come
joined
on,
in.
everyone.
Not everybody
Please.
joined in. That might have been the 2013 one actually. But can you remember a comic called Marty McLean?
Yes.
Did we talk about this on the podcast or no?
I've not, anyway, no.
Nah. So basically, right, he was on before me, and he went up and he just started eating dick. Like, it just wasn't going good at all.
Right.
And it's like people are crossing.
Not
As a metaphor.
It was
bloody hell,
the
that's
orgy tent. And it was like, people are hungover. It's the afternoon. They've dragged us out of the tent to come and absorb some of the festival. But the music isn't kicking on yet, right? So they're
Yeah.
watching stand up, and there's a lot. Like, it's fucking lit. It's just day lit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
tough.
not the easiest gig, but you know what? You can go on and you can entertain them without getting big laughs out of them. Just go on and just like be something for the
Know what the gig is and
now
just
what the
exit,
gig
right.
is. But he was like, it was bothering him that he wasn't getting any responses and shit, right? And then he just fucking went, "Oh, I took so many drugs last night." He was like, "I took MDMA, I took coke, I took fucking pills, I smoked weed." And then he went, "And I've been at the oxygen tent." Whoa, big breather over here. Oh, we've got a heavy breather in.
And I've just had a herbal.
Then the Bad Boys theme tune tipped.
There goes the neighbourhood.
I love that you went Bad Boys to the Martin Lawrence for Eddie.
No, I was meaning that one.
Did you mean that?
I meant that one, yeah.
You meant the Bad Boy for Life.
I remember beforehand, he'd said to me, because I was standing backstage with him while you were on. He went on before you?
So he was on before me, aye.
So he was saying to me, he was like, "Do you think this tent looks like a pirate ship?" And I was like, "No." And he went, "No, I think it does. I think I'm going to open with that." And I was like, "No, don't, because it doesn't." And then for the first 5 minutes, digging in about this fucking, because it had a
Where are we? The Jolly Roger?
Yeah, literally, it was like that kind of shit, and it was dying so badly.
How's everyone up to the crow's nest? Am I right?
Hire me, hearties. What?
So fucking,
my God.
he basically dug himself into the hole, decided to blame the drugs that actually like weren't bothering him that much. He was just having a tough gig, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pass it. Can someone come and grab us?"
Yeah.
And then me and fucking Big Scott Gibson went and got him,
Oh wow.
and it took him off. And that was fucking Billy Kirkwood was hosting.
Yeah.
And like he done a little bit, and I wasn't due on for like another 20 minutes. But he looked at me and he was like, "Kai, can I like bring you on new?" And I was like, "Aye, whatever, mate, sure." And he was like, dressed like that, and I was wearing blue wellies, Bermuda surf shorts, like white fucking kind of rip curl surf short things, and then like a blue Geo Goy top. It was like fucking matching me wellies. And I look, I honestly fucking, I don't know what I look like. I was my own thing, like a fucking, like a randomly generated fucking GTA character, like Saints Row. And I fucking, he thought that I just hadn't getting changed yet. And I was going on like that the whole while. I was like, I need bother. And I went on and fucking, I was saying to Natalie would have definitely left if Marty McLean had done 20 minutes.
Aye.
I met her because he bombed.
Yeah.
And then I got off the blocks bike and last night, man. I was like, last night I took a bunch of MDMA, I took a bunch of pills, I took some weed, I've been to the oxygen tent. But I'm a Geordie, I can handle my shit. And then got on with me set. It was like that's how I met your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Do you know at that? I don't know if it was that festival. I think it was a couple of years after at Rockness. Do you remember? That's like Richard Gadd. You know Richard Gadd won the Edinburgh Award, and James Kirk and Matthew Winning. James Kirk doesn't do comedy anymore. They had a band. I can't remember what they were fucking called, but they had like a comedy band, and they would do a Christmas song, and it was a cover of the. It was by the Flying Pickets. It's like. It's called Only You, and it was a Christmas number one. And they asked me because whoever normally would play guitar for them wasn't there, so they were like, "Do you reckon you could learn this for tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll fucking learn it." And then fucking when we were like getting drugged up the night before, Gad was like that. I was thinking, like, we should introduce you as somebody, and I was thinking, could we introduce you as Miss Dynamite's brother? And I was like, what? And then, but I was like, aye.
Akil? Is that not?
I think I was like,
a caller. That's a caller.
Yeah, I was like, let's yeah, it is, yeah. But at the time, I had no idea that Carla was it, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And we were honestly 1 pint away from me blacking up to do it.
Wow.
To go on as this was when blacking up was still acceptable. Like literally.
We hadn't woke up as a society to the laws of blacking up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a large number of society had, but you hadn't.
I think society had. And then people at a festival high on their face off the oxygen tent maybe hadn't.
You could have had that in your fucking back catalogue of memories.
Can you imagine doing that and then it not going well and dying on stage and then suddenly just realising I've got no, you can't just go back into normal material.
I've beiged up before.
You have.
I dressed as a terrorist for fancy dress, and I made it like I used like fucking kind of like this material webbing and these like fucking big fuses from the sports centre and like tied them on and had wires so like my bomb looked pretty legit. And
who are you going as?
It would have been like two
generic terrorist.
Generic terrorist. Like
terrorist.
And I fucking used I used regular fake tan. Was me method of changing my skin tone was regular fake tan, and I was like my spin on it was if you're gonna do me for it, you've got to do every last in tune because they're using the same shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm just using the same stuff off the shelf as people who are culturally appropriate and the guy who can dance. That was me spin. It was I can just look back and go, it was wrong what I did.
Yeah,
I deleted it. I'd probably still defend it, but I deleted it. The pictures off social media. I went to a Halloween party about 4 years ago. It was a Halloween party that parents, like a lot of kids at our nurseries were all pals. The parents were quite pally as well. So one of the parents had a Halloween party on a Sunday afternoon, and I'd been in London for the weekend, so I'd gone about and I was going to go as Kim Jong-un. Right.
Oh yeah, I made that photo. Did you know that?
No, I did.
Yeah,
So I had like a full black suit on, black shirt. And then I managed to find in a fancy dress this spray paint hair stuff that made my hair jet black.
Wow.
And then I couldn't find a fucking. I'm saying I couldn't in London. I couldn't find a North Korean flag anywhere. And,
running around like late night petrol stations.
I couldn't find titty tape from my eyes anywhere in London.
So I got like a sticky on label and just like sticky on white plain label, and I just made the North Korean flag on that and just put that. And then we turned up, and my wife went as just a penguin, right, as a costume. And we turned up there and not one other fucking parent was dressed up, right? Oof. And I was like, shit. And then she just took that off and went, well, it's just you now. And I had literally nowhere to go because hers was just like a big massive costume to pull on.
Just there with the eyes
fuck
going.
It off. And I just looked like other parents I'd never met coming in going, who the fuck is this prick? Like, folks thought I was Michael McIntyre.
Save, what a save.
That was good. I got invited to, I think when I lived in Germany, my dad was like the head of the military over there. And I was leaving.
The Nazis?
Yeah. My dad's got a really shady history. And I played rugby with I used to play rugby with all the squaddies. And they invited me to a leaving do out in Mönchengladbach. And they told me it was fancy dress. And I went dressed as a duck, like a full duck costume with a bill, proper like woolly tail. And I rocked up to this Chinese restaurant, and not a single one of them had come in fancy dress.
You just had a sailor's top on and no bottoms.
Yeah, proper Donald Duck. And we ended up going. We went to the strip club. We went to all sorts of places with me just dressed as this duck. I remember being in the Chinese restaurant. I jumped in.
Did you get the bill?
Went to the strippers. I was peeking.
Amazing. Yes.
Did you order a naan and they come along and just start chucking the bread at you? Just ordered a naan at the Chinese, mixing things up.
Where should I charge these strippers? Just put them on my bill.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done bill.
But like,
we're back around. We did it.
I just did that.
We did it. I got 3 deep before it come full circle, so it's good.
What was the end to that?
I could see her feet working under the water.
What was the end to that?
The end to it is that I was out. By the end of it, I was like properly like out of my face, dressed as a depressed duck at the bar. I looked over, and the staff sergeant, who was like our house staff, was off duty drinking next to me. And it was the first time I'd seen him like not working at our house as the staff, and suddenly he didn't recognise me because I was
like seeing the ice cream man putting the petrol in. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not used to this.
And he ended up so him and me it was the first time we'd ever met with him not in work and there not being a hierarchy, and he just got me absolutely out of my face drunk. By the end of it, I was like this duck puking in the street.
Nice.
And then the next day I had to then like come down, and he was setting the breakfast table.
I went to a fancy dress party dressed as a pimp, and my girlfriend at the time was dressed as Wonder Woman, and we had a massive spat on the street. Screaming at each other. Pimp and Wonder Woman just absolutely fucking tearing chunks out of each other on the street.
Have you ever seen that episode Only Fooling Horses?
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Like fucking.
When they're running up and you see him in the mist. It's
and then they go. So Boise says it's a fancy dress party and it's a funeral. And they turn up, so Del Boy runs in, and na. It's a stilly string of. The best bit about that is, so everybody's standing in black suits and black ties, and Trigger comes up, and he goes, "Did you not know it wasn't fancy dress either?" and he goes, "Nah," and he goes, "I know. I feel like a right idiot. I came as a chauffeur."
Class. Natalie's friends as well, Julie and Gordon. They went to a fancy dress party, but it was Festival of the Dead, and Julie went as Festival of the Dead. She got the memo, and Gordon tipped up dressed as the Incredible Hulk. And he fucking rocked up, painted green, ripped shirt and all that. And everyone's just there with like funky skull paintings on their face and shit. I've never been to one of them.
What?
The Festival of the Dead,
Mexico thing.
Aye. What
Dias del Muerto.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What's to them apart from like drawing like patterns on your face and that?
It's just like a celebration of the dead.
Yeah.
That's
So lots of skull. I think they got lots of pinatas and stuff, and there's obviously that big like carnival.
Yeah.
Did you make that up?
Pinatas?
Do they have pinatas at Festival of the Dead, or do you just go, they just dig the garden and
No, they do.
Just throwing Mexican cliches?
No, I think they do.
Different, huh?
Yeah, they had chorizos and
I
stuff.
know, yeah,
Whatever.
tacos and that. Yeah. Danny Trejo's always there.
It's the start of the what Bond film is it? Spectre. That's the
Yeah,
start. This is the
that
start.
one
scene
long
at
shot.
the Day of the Dead. It's cool as fuck. Big massive skeleton
cool.
walking along like that.
Aye. Well, the street parties traditionally, it's not just like you book the function room at a working men's club.
No, it's not. No, it's a massive event. It's like it's a big carnival.
Have you ever seen them colour me rad things in the park where they're just high colours at you when you're running? Have you not?
No.
So, like, I don't know if it's like some borrowed like Indian culture or some shit, right? But they just get like coloured flour and shit, and they have like these stations. So you're doing like a 5K around the park, and they just throw these like fucking blue and pink and just multicoloured, loud colours at you, and you do the run and you finish, and you've got your fucking t-shirts all covered in flour. I saw a casual park runner accidentally get fucking spanked with colour.
Shit.
Because he ran through the colour
Amazing.
station on his fucking regular jog. And he just like come up to that end and just looked himself up and doing.
Goes back to his wife and like at home.
Me and Rick, it's telegraphed it. We're just walking around the park. It was a nice day in Liverpool. We're walking around the park and fucking we just like spotted it coming. We're like fucking tapping each other on the arm. Yeah, and he's gonna get it. This bloke's gonna get it.
This guy's on a PB. Can't even stop. Because you've done like, I love those kind of festivals. There's a tomato festival.
I'd love to do the tomato
is it
festival.
Italy or Spain or something like that where they fucking
I think it's Spain.
they just lob tomatoes at each other, and then there's a big massive pot of tomatoes at the end. Everybody jumps in and squashes like
Aye.
fuck. It's like the running the bulls thing, but like
I had.
with tomatoes instead of bulls.
Just running the tomatoes.
that was what, I remember we saying last time, like next time do something a bit more casual, like the tomato festival. And I was like, nah, man, look, I'd fucking die at the tomato festival. I'll survive getting trampled by bulls. And then the tomato festival, like, I end up like fucking getting airlifted to the tomato festival. Damn it. It'd be cool. I'd like to go to Burning Man. I think that's one of my bucket list festivals.
Aye. That's like the, is that the thing where you go out in the desert and there's nothing, like there's no amenities?
Do you like pay with gifts or something?
I don't think you. Yeah, I think you just bring what you bring.
It's
And
a
it's like,
bartering kind of,
it's not an actual place. It only gets erected for the festival. It's in the middle of nowhere.
take peyote
Aye.
and find your inner person.
And
Your
that-
spirit animal.
There's actually, I made a joke about the orgy tent before, but there actually is an orgy tent at Burning Man, is there?
Oh, I'd imagine there's some of
Yeah,
the
I
shit
think it's
that goes on
really-
at that. Like, so
Do you need to have like a bar in, or is it just a bunch of blokes hoping to get lucky? Is it just a bunch of dudes turning
Yeah.
up? Is there any birds? Like, do you have to like? I've brought a lass.
the hell of a stag do? Burning Man stag. Where's the water park, mate? Middle of the desert, you silly cunt.
I've always found it appealing, Burning Man. Do they have a genre of music there? Is it like an eclectic mix?
No, I
Is
think
it-
it's basically people bring their instruments. Like, there's not like set bands.
Yeah, they don't have set bands. Do they? There's no headliner or
I
anything.
think that's got some comics. I'm pretty sure has Donnelly not done it.
probably.
That is
There
exactly
will be
sounds like the
some
sort of person.
comics. I'm pretty sure some comics
Julian
have done
Dean
it.
off his face in the middle
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
There'll definitely be some
I need out.
British
Like,
comics that have done it.
like you know, like Brendan Burns has done it. Like
Aye.
there's certain like just fucking.
Stanhope does it a lot.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. I've heard him talking about Burning Man quite a bit. I don't know if they burn a man at the end.
Aye,
An actual man. An unlucky man.
it's in the desert. It's just a ginger. It's just to wait for the sun to come up and watch the ginger there.
Did you ever do Wicker Man?
The festival.
yeah.
Is there actually a Wicker Man festival?
used to be.
Is it on the?
It was right. It was where it was literally 50 miles from where I grew up. Because the Wicker Man film was filmed.
I was saying,
around
where
there.
in the Wicker Man film is there? Does he go? Is it? It's not the Isle of Skye or anything.
It's a fictional island.
Is it a fictional
Yeah,
island?
it's a fictional island in the film, but it was filmed around about Dumfries and Galloway where I grew up, and there was a festival that they started, and they would burn a Wicker Man at the end of it, like this huge fucking 60-foot Wicker Man.
cool.
Nicholas Cage in it.
It was pretty cool.
Not the bees.
Yeah. And the farmer that owned it shot himself.
Did he?
Wow.
Fucking hell, for a film. Self-record. That was really ambitious, that guy. Festivals, self-produced movies. Wow. Anyway, I'm glad that didn't have a sad ending. That story. That was really uplifting tale, that man.
I added that detail.
And
Just
now,
in case any of you
Daft
think we're going. Yeah.
around the world,
Just sweeping them off.
harder, better, faster, stronger.
I think this might be the last year, folks, but let's go with a bang. There's the Proclaimers.
You know what I think? Like one of the ones that I look back again, I wish I'd done that, but I think it might be a young man's game, and I'd probably be like someone's dad turned up if I didn't know. I may be wrong, but that Tomorrowland, the one out is in the Netherlands.
I don't know that.
It's like just fucking like like dance music.
Yeah, I think I've seen Tomorrowland.
Oh, that would be good.
I think because I got into dance music quite, and I wouldn't say into it because I'm not into it. I couldn't tell you what genre was what. Like I'm very much a fucking noob with dance music. But you know when we started that playlist on Spotify, which you can find by the way, it's called Filthy Bangers. You can go on to Filthy Bangers. I open it up every now and again so that you, Danny, and Gareth can add to it. And every now and again, one of the subscribers just fucking puts in a bunch of shit that I didn't keep it open for very long. I had to go through and clean it because it started getting shit.
Yeah, there was some utter shite on it.
There's some utter shite, but anything with a drop, you know, when you're just like drunk and on pills at a fucking house party or whatever, and you put like weed and Klonopin on, right, and then that fucking build up and that build up and that build up and that drop.
Yeah,
I've been absolutely fucking like blind to how good that is for all my life into my 30s, and then I get into my 30s and I'm like, that. Drops are sick.
Yeah.
And I'd never felt them before.
Then suddenly we're at your wedding in Ibiza and drops are the main thing. Yeah. So good.
And so I'm like, I wish I'd been to like that kind of festival now, but I do feel like I'd be like an old head at one of them festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look to the, I know it was a travesty and everything, but was it the future? What was the one where Travis Scott and everyone got squashed?
Oh yeah.
I looked at that and went, that just looks like the most horrendous.
And he got like accused
ever.
of doing a satanic ritual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Which I think was like, I'm sure he wasn't like deliberately ignoring people dying, but like, I just looked at that and just looked overcrowded, and I was like, the old man in me went, I don't think I could do that anymore.
I was at a game on Sunday where it got stopped because somebody was having an incident in the audience. Can you watch it on telly?
Yeah, I watched it on telly. Yeah.
It was a weird feeling in the crowd because you're watching the game and then all of a sudden there's just whistling, like high pitched whistling coming from one stand, and everybody's like pointing in a specific direction, and it just takes you a little while to register what's happening, and then you start trying to get the ref's attention and all.
Yeah.
And everybody in the fucking pit, everyone in the stadium's trying to get the fucking ref's attention to stop the game, and then you just see all the like fucking paramedics going up, and then you're just like, I just like went to the toilet and all that. I was like, fuck, this is weird.
There's a few times I've come close to that proper crushing at festivals. Really? Like it's like I did Reading years and years ago, and it was like the Sunday was, it's like Foo Fighters, Rage Against the Machine, Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, and I remember during Limp Bizkit getting really fucking like proper, like because mosh bits are made, it crushes everyone else. Yeah. And then that was when you could still crowd surf, it was still a thing. And I did it during Rage Against the Machine, and I got passed over and I got thrown like that.
I don't know, it's a crowd surfing band.
It's just not done anymore. It's just not acceptable anymore. And I got thrown and landed in a gap that had been created and landed on the top of my head. So I basically went like that and knocked myself out.
Jesus Christ.
And the next thing I know, like I'd been dragged across the barriers and put in the medical tent. Wow. Just came to in the
That's seriously, yeah, Jesus.
Straight back up again.
Yeah. I nearly drowned at a phone party.
Did you?
In like a big gay club. And
drowning cock.
Yeah. But because the foam, what your natural, when you're out of breath, your natural instinct is to go up and go like that. But obviously that's where all the foam's coming from. So you should go down to like, the air's all down there. But I went and just inhaled all this foam. And I was like, this guy's fucking loving it.
They were like, this guy's got a terrible gag reflex. I'm not into that.
We my brother's stag do. We were in Magaluf and went to a water party, So it's like a foam party, but they just fucking fill the place
Yeah.
with water. So you're walking about, and it seems a great laugh, but like as I was kind of, we'd been in it for about 3 hours, and I was kind of sobering up. And kind of looking about and going, this is fucking disgusting.
How thin?
Like I looked over at one of my brother's pals, and he was just standing there taking a piss, like
Of course he was.
in this water that everyone was just swishing about. There's
that's
fucking
disgusting.
bottles passing you, and you're going,
You know what that reminds us of? You know, it used to be in swimming pools where you had to fucking step in this weird foot.
yeah.
Remember they had that just unhygienic, just body of water that you had
Yeah.
to step in before you went in the pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a plaster in it.
Yeah. You just say, yeah, if you've got a verruca, then just pass it on. Yeah, give it to the next guy. Fucking gross, that. That was before my time, because I know that used to happen when I was a kid, but not when I was a lifeguard.
Not
So-
on your watch.
As soon as I become a lifeguard. Did the phone party have a lifeguard?
Do you know who was there? The Ladyboys of Bangkok. 'Cause
Aye.
it was Brighton, and they
Watching
it was
the
their
pool.
night off. They were in
Well,
the
I
gay
wish
club.
Wow.
So I was just drowning in this foam while the Ladyboys of Bangkok were dancing around me.
What do they do?
What do they do in the show?
Because they're at the Fringe every year. They're like a huge,
And a big tent. Yeah.
huge staple
I've
of the
been
Fringe.
to the Fringe.
Probably the biggest ticket sellers. Like fucking Daniel Sloss will try and argue otherwise, but however, Danny, let them have it.
So it's like a big cabaret night, but the annoying thing is they sing like show tunes and stuff, but they mime it. They don't actually sing, which is that was sad for me because I wanted to see them banging out the actual vocals, but they don't. It's literally just sort of.
Is there anything
flamboyant.
about them that's genuine?
No, nothing.
Do they get? They don't get.
Do they whip that dick soon?
No,
There.
no, and
So it's all just
They're-
implied.
yeah, it's very heavily implied. Like there's some cracking Adam's apples on show.
Is that why the main because that parts would drop through?
And they get like a bloke up on stage, and they'll dance around him and strip for it. They'll like do sexy dancing,
Like a big stag
But
do.
It's really genuinely like the majority of the audience are all like hen parties and groups of women.
So it's cabaret.
Yeah, it's cabaret.
Is it always the same dudes? Like, do you need? Is
no,
it like
no,
a
it's-
touring show?
Well, you mean is it like a Tom and Kitten? What time of the week?
The rotating like, but they must like
I think they have like the touring. I think they have the lads for one.
because you need to be. Is it like Cirque du Soleil? Surely you have to like audition for
yeah.
that to become part of the main. But then like the Cirque du Soleil that come here to Britain, would they be the same Cirque du Soleil that do the Vegas?
I think it's a bit like you'd have like the touring version, you'd have a residency version.
Right.
And I remember in the cast, like they had one who did an act where it was an older one who was like doing like an old school cabaret song where it's like, I used to be this, but now I'm there. And so I think there is like an age range that goes through it. And then you have I'm the young new one. And yeah, I mean, it's a whole cast.
Think
Is it
they're
good?
on a WhatsApp group.
I didn't really enjoy. As soon as you get over, like, right, that's the sort of novelty, and then you go, okay. If they were singing, it'd be better, but because it's miming, it really
Aye,
like
that doesn't really.
They're just like, I'll just go and inhale some foam
yeah.
instead. Bored.
Choking on foam's no joke. It really is.
Yeah, I bet.
It's really,
I
really
bet.
I can
severe.
imagine what it is as well because it's not. It won't even be like bath foam.
No, it's
because
quite
that
dry.
would-
It's quite sort of. You can feel the soapy suds.
Must be like insulation.
Yeah, it's not
like
nice.
because it needs to stay firm almost. You know, like in bath foam, the minute it touches your skin, it'll eventually dissolve.
Your
that
throat
stuff
dries.
fucking sits and like
Yeah, it's horrible.
Jesus.
Aye. What other theme parties are there? Remember traffic light parties?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it? Like, oh no, I'm not shagging. I'm definitely shagging.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
might be
Don't tell me, lad.
Any bloke who wore a yellow one's like, come on, mate.
That was
Stop
the.
being mysterious.
I know.
That was the
Just wear
it's
a green
complicated
one.
Facebook status, you know, when people used to put it's complicated. It's a relationship
Yeah,
status
yeah.
and thing. That's what it's complicated. Look, I've got options. You might be one of them. It's fucking weird.
There was a thing we had in Glasgow called Shag Tag. I've got a nightclub called Archaeos, and we everyone would have like a number, and then there was a massive message board.
Yes, I
where
did
you
this
could
at uni.
go, number 69. Like,
And so it would match up your number,
fucking
and
pump you.
so
And then,
you'd see the number up on a screen. And
Okay.
You go, oh, so number 518
Yeah.
has said they like
So you
it.
text it like your music channels when it would be like text your name in.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it'll- Aye. And
and then you would see, you would see the match, and then you'd fucking search about for 52.
fucking hell.
And then you saw 52 and went, ooh,
Yeah, Jesus.
oh no.
I bet you there's just so many just dejected people watching the screen and just never seeing their number
Yeah.
come up.
Yeah.
Just there like the docs waiting to get picked for a job. Just like, oh, not today, love. I'm going back home. Apologise to the family. Like your family's at home. I didn't get laid tonight. Will he break it to the kids?
Leave them till morning. Tell them in the morning.
Tell them in the morning.
Let them sleep.
Aye. Don't spoil that Christmas. Daddy didn't get a shag today, kids.
Waking up early, running down, see if he's come.
Is mum cuckolding dad? It's never the woman cuckolding the bloke, isn't it? There's another bit of female privilege.
That's true, actually.
Cook has gender connotations, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Never call a woman a cook. We should call more women cooks. There you go.
There's not much porn. There's not much of that in
If women,
porn.
there's
Women.
women watching that bloke getting shagged.
Yeah.
I've literally never seen that, no.
Yeah. I mean, like, because the porn you're watching is the stuff you search for, you probably,
Yeah.
you probably haven't
Yeah,
seen it. I never press shuffle.
Pornhub nowadays is just a lot of people urinating on each other, isn't it? That's all I ever see.
Shuffle and porn.
Aye.
Oh, well, in for a penny.
Just whatever it saves up.
Ooh, this is going to be tough, this one.
Spotify gets us. You know, Spotify knows what I'm after. If I just let
Can
it
you
roll.
imagine if Pornhub did your year in review like Spotify does?
But surely, like, is TikTok not like that? Like, if you're a dirty bastard and you watch a lot of...
I think Reels
Well, yeah,
is
it's-
because it's all dog videos for me now.
So the For You page on TikTok, the algorithm picks up basically whatever videos you spend the most time watching, it will then stick more of them on your For You page. Because with Julia, my girlfriend, when she came over, and my For You page was just a bunch of like women with massive asses jiggling,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know why it's doing this. She's like, I know it's doing this.
Yeah, because when I was like, I remember I watched one fucking snooker trick shot or something. Then that's all I get now.
You want a trick shot there? Have a trick shot? Can we have a Jimmy White? You want a bit of that? You want some John Virgo? Jim Davison? Anyone? Next thing you know, you're watching Jim Davison. You got Jim Davison clips because you once watched a snooker trick shot, and it just works its way up to a racist comedy.
Yeah.
Then someone's looking at your phone going, "Why is Chubby Brown on your fucking reels?"
Because you get like, do you know on the reels on Instagram, you like appear on
I know,
actual reels now,
yeah,
where
it's-
people like randomly who have no idea who you are will just suddenly see your videos.
I know. That happened like last month, just suddenly. I got my first like plus million viewed video on Instagram, which just doesn't ever happen.
Instagram's good as well. Like,
Well, they're really pushing reels, and it's just I don't quite know how the algorithm works, but that happened. And then it suddenly just stuff started shooting up. So it was
man.
no, I bet. It's
In
so
have you
nice.
noticed a conversion in ticket sales for your tour and that? Did it have an up spike around about the time that the million hits?
Not a massive one, to be honest,
No.
but it's incrementally it's growing.
Yeah,
But it's definitely had an effect. We'll see. I don't know. Ticket sales are still weird. I think we're in a weird time for ticket sales at the moment.
you have got you can't talk about the TV thing that's
I
coming.
can't talk about it.
You can't talk
explicitly.
but you can say that.
I can say I'm going on something. I'm going on a reality.
You've
TV
already
show.
recorded
Yeah.
a reality TV show. Can you say what it's called?
No.
No,
Otherwise,
okay.
I don't get the other half of my disturbance fee.
Oh wow! So yeah, there, Tom's going to be on a reality TV show soon, and that could have an impact on your ticket sales.
Fingers crossed. That'll be the thing that then I can tour America and Australia and stuff. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
'cause
That's going to be a big one.
it's going to be what platform's it on?
God.
Can't even say that. You can't even say where people
No.
can look out for it. Okay,
No.
yeah, we can get off the topic if you need.
It sounds a little bit like wet licks.
Okay, than Disney.
Yeah, it's the Ladyboys of Bangkok channel.
Yeah. I'm on a reality show. I'm on The Bachelor. And the next, I'm trying to bag myself a bachelor on the next scene. It's just me and a load of young
you,
women. I'm really out of place.
They're trying to score you.
Is that it's called The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Is that one, yeah?
That'd be very funny. You on a first date feeding him strawberries. I've never had this sort of connection with anyone before. Would you go on one of those like love ones? If you had to, which one would you go on?
I would love, do you know what? I'd love to go on Love Island as I am just now. Like, not work out, not to try and improve myself in any way, and treat it like I would treat any other holiday. So, like, drinking cans in the pool.
Yeah.
Like,
Just perfing
Like,
on the lassies from out of the pool. Not even getting amongst them. Just going, right. Nudging
telling people that they'll need to give the toilet 10 minutes. I think the fajitas were bad last night. So
you're at the barbecue, but you've got like a titty apron on with plastic tits on.
reading an Andy McNabb novel.
Christ, in a supermarket running back. Oh man. Selling watches and sunglasses on the beach. Usual stuff that you do on holiday. Well, tell you what, there, because you've got to get back to your hotel before checkout. So.
Yeah, I think we're nearly.
I could have done this for hours. It's been fucking class. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
And we've all got shit to plug in Glasgow, right?
So yeah, I'm on tour in Glasgow. I think it's like late March at the stand. Something 20.
Hold on. 'Cause I was just thinking of the Glasgow Comedy Festival, but yours is an actual tour, so people can get you most places in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. On your website?
Yeah, at Honourable Tom, and then so Instagram, TikTok, website, and I'm touring all the country. Please come.
Find out our Honourable Tom, find out where he's touring, go to his tour show. I'm going to be specifically in Glasgow on the 13th of March doing my first solo show since I've stopped writing. I've been writing Danny's coattails for a little while now, and he's having a band. I'm like, I might do some of my own shit now. So I'm starting at Glasgow, 13th of March.
I'm the day before you, 12th of March.
Oh, make a weekend of
at
it.
the stand, yeah.
There you go, I'm at the stand
and
as
it's at
well.
5:30 in the afternoon, so you can,
Sweet.
because it's work in progress,
In
which is code for we've done fuck all.
it's code for some of the jokes may never see the light of day ever again. Come and see some stillborn jokes. So come and see some jokes that are blue around the lips. So Glasgow Comedy Festival for me and you. National tour for you, and just fucking, if you're listening from further afield than that, just keep enjoying the podcast. We'll be in your territory soon enough, I'm sure. Bye.